Welcome to Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. My name is Mompoloki Lerumo Mogobe. Our objective is to enthuse, inspire, energize, and empower entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs of all stripes here in BW and beyond. We do so by inviting these entrepreneurs into our makeshift studio. Sometimes we call them to the restaurant, sometimes we go to our studio, and we ask them to share their experiential knowledge, their experiences and their expertise, and we ask them as many questions as we can, aimed at empowering you also as a viewer. Hello and welcome, dear viewer and listener. My name is Mompoloki Lerumo Mogobe, the host of this wonderful show, Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. Always a privilege and an honor to come to you and introduce you the best and the brightest, the creme de la creme in terms of businessmen and entrepreneurs and women, people who are making a difference in our community. And I have one such person. His name is Base Sebonego. I call him my own blood brother for reasons that we might get into during this interview. But for now, I just need a small service, a small favor from you. I want you to hit that subscribe button and strike that notification bell, because without those two, our ability to stay afloat and to remain on cyberspace is limited. So we need you to help us. I'm almost begging you, please strike those two buttons, please. I beg of you. Welcome to the studio, Resebonego.
Thank you, Ramo. How are you? How has been your day so far?
So far it's going good. Beautiful. What about yourself?
All is well.
Okay.
All is well.
Yeah.
Yes.
A good place for you to start would be to introduce your entities, your companies, but more importantly, share your background in terms of academics, training, and so on. Just feel free to start wherever you want. Base Sebonego is my name, like you correctly introduced me. I'm a business person, involved in business across sectors. I'm into aviation. Smart Aviations is my company. I'm also into legal expenses insurance through Law on Call and Mosele Legal Services, both of which are operating in South Africa, and many other businesses. Recently developed another passion, farming as a business. Yes, I'm still a kid in that area, but definitely with intention. Okay. I'm a Moakezi, born in Lobatse. From Kanye, grew up in Maung, started business in Maung. That's where I learned business. So essentially, that's who I am. Okay. So I spent most of my time in South Africa and here, particularly at the farm where I enjoy myself most. Yes. All right. Thank you for finding the time to honor our invitation. Yes. But perhaps you could also share about your vocational training and your academics, if any. There isn't much about me and academics. Like everybody else, I went through primary, secondary to university, where I did animal health and production, and then after which I worked as a temporary teacher. Where? At Maikano Junior Secondary School here in Gaborone. Okay. And thereafter had a 2 or 3 month stint with the Minister of Agriculture. I never talk about it because I never really worked there. And the rest is history. I then got into business, and I've been in business since then at a very, very, very young age. So I know you started in your teens. Yeah, definitely. Yes, I know nothing but business. Okay. Now, the legal business, because Mosele is the business for which you are most known here in Botswana, Mosele Legal Services. How did you get into the legal services business? Yes, it's interesting that is the business that I'm mostly known. But the truth of the matter is that I've been doing many other businesses that I'm yet to mention.
But because the community has given me that tag, Musele Legal Services, that's my business. I started Musele Legal Services years back. To be precise, over 20 years back. And this was born out of the friendships that I had. Back in the days when I was still a young guy, most of my friends were lawyers. So I remember vividly that come legal year, they would, after the formalities, wherever they would be, because I was never part of that, because I'm not a lawyer, they would then go to one friend, sit there the whole day, have their imbibe and have fun, and I would then join them. And during the conversation, they would be talking about their profession, some of them obviously running private practice, and they would be mentioning that clients are not paying them, their customers are not paying, they go to court and they don't get paid. And then immediately I thought, come on, there must be a problem there, definitely.
That requires a solution.
Come with a solution, and that is how Musele Legal Services was born. As you would imagine, this was the first legal expenses insurance in the country, and the idea came from my lawyer friends. And I must say thanks again to them.
Okay. He's still practicing.
Law, Unoda Mac. Yes. Yeah. They would sit somewhere and have a beautiful chat about their profession. And this is where it came from. Yes.
And for someone who's totally new to this, how does it actually function? How does the business run?
Legal expenses insurance is essentially pay X amount of pullers per month, and then as and when there's any legal occurrence that calls for a legal brain, then a legal expenses insurance outfit that you are a member of would then pay the lawyer on your behalf to either litigate, advise, or do a contract on your behalf, whatever legal. That's what it is. It's fashioned around what we know, what most people would know is medical aid. Pay as and when you've got a headache, you go to a doctor, fixes the headache. Who pays on your behalf? The medical aid scheme. Essentially the same model.
Would you then need to have a number of lawyers on your panel, have a separate arrangement with those lawyers?
Yeah, definitely. I would. I employ lawyers in a house, and but have service level agreements with outsourced law firms, where in case we do not have the capacity to maybe advise the client, where there is need for litigation, because our internal lawyers, in-house lawyers, are not allowed to go to court. Then we would then outsource the service. The outsourced lawyer then would represent our member, and in turn would pay the law firm.
Okay.
Yes, but as you would remember, Musele Legal Services is not operating. The Musele Legal Service that I'm now talking about is the Musele Legal Service in South Africa, which is a completely different company from the one that operated in Botswana. Yes.
When did it cease operations and why?
Oh, we ceased operations in.
unless unless it's too sensitive to share.
No, it's not even sensitive. Actually, it's worth talking about it. If a few people that I meet as I go about doing my thing always ask me what happened. And thanks God, this probably gives me an opportunity to just say it as it is.
Yes.
No, we ceased operation because the regulator, MBFIRA, Non-Bank Financial Services Regulatory Authority. As you would imagine, we renewed our license every year. That is the requirement. And we had been renewing our license for the past 18 or 19 years, every year without fail. And then on the 19th year, which was in 2019, unfortunately, the regulator then felt that we applied for renewal late, and as such we must stop operating. And that's how Musele stopped operating.
Late by how long?
Apparently they said we had, I can't remember, but it must have been both 15 or 30 days. You understand? So then we were asked to close shop because we have applied for a license late. I remember asking them, come on guys, why not at least penalize us, something like that. And they said, no ways, you must close shop. But
and the law was a bit tough in that regard, or you couldn't take it to court or anything.
Yeah, unfortunately, the if I remember well, the provisions of is it NBFIRA or the Insurance Act, as it were. Remember, I'm not a lawyer, but obviously I've been in the space for a long time, for the longest time.
Yes, I believe.
Provided for a tribunal. Where if you're not happy with NBFIRA, you go to that tribunal. Unfortunately, in 2019, that tribunal has not yet been set up. I just read in the papers recently that it has since been set up. So there was no way to go other than to go to court. So honestly, going to court is expensive. I tried, but I then on the way said to my attorney, I think this is not worth it. I mean, I've been doing this for 19 years. I think I've done, I'm happy. If people want it to shut, let it shut. Because they are not shutting me, they're just shutting a business. Yeah.
What about your customers? Were they not unduly inconvenienced?
They were definitely inconvenienced. I mean, if your customers were to wake up in the morning and your shop is closed, they would be inconvenienced because suddenly they have to find other alternatives.
My gut now is sitting here tells me you could have gone to court on a certificate of urgency and kept it open pending a substantive application to adjudicate over the issues.
Yeah, but look, like I said, our approach to business is different, naturally. You know, there are times when you sit and then you weigh your whatever.
Your options.
And you make a business decision. And in this case, I made the decision. Listen, I'm wasting my time because I can see no matter how hard I try. I mean, in the first place, to me, it was a bit on the harsh way side to have a 19-year-old business been closed because they have applied for renewal of a license
allegedly late.
Yes. Let's assume we were late, which I still. Let's assume, because I don't want to get back into the matter, and I don't want even them at NBFIRA to think I'm taking any bad about them. But I'm just stating facts as they are. Unfortunately, or fortunately, you understand? That I want to believe that regulation is not meant to
oppress,
to prohibit business. Regulation is, from where I'm standing, having been in business for a long time, I thought regulation, particularly in an economy like ourselves, where entrepreneurship is still at its infant, one would have expected that regulation would be used to actually grow businesses or to grow industries.
How many of employees were affected as a result?
Over, I can comfortably say over 50. Yes, over 50.
But I think a court would have listened, but I'm hearing you. You are saying that you looked at it and said, okay, I can fight this thing, but is it worth it? Maybe this is an omen. Maybe this is a sign to say, let me look at other markets.
No. Remember at the time, coincidentally, and I hope this is not
controversial.
It's going to be seen as controversial or political, because our community is very sensitive. But truth needs to be told. Coincidentally, we received the letter on the 24th. Of December, and then BFIRA was closing apparently on the same day, around 4. You understand? So we received the letter and the office is closed, so there's nothing you can do. But that is neither here nor there. What shocked me then was that we received the letter. Was it a day? Yeah, a day after. We got our licensing elsewhere in other countries.
Okay.
But that is neither here nor there. What matters is that, and I still insist, that I think regulation including the non-financial regulator. I think they are doing that now, but I think in my case they didn't do that. I think they must. I mean, if I've missed to renew my license with those 30 days or 15 days, my take would. I mean, and this was not an every year thing. My take is would have been easily said, come here, we are going to penalize you, something like that. That's what I thought.
Well, what normally happens every single year, without exception, with the Law Society, some lawyers submit their records late, and then they regularize. I've never seen a single case where after regularization, you say you are prohibited from practice after the deadline.
At the time when I received the letter, we had applied for the renewal. We had provided all the information that needed to be provided. But I don't want us to do.
You don't want us to do. Okay, all right.
I want us to come to get angry, and I hope I love our regulators here. That is a fact. That is why industries are growing. But all I was saying was because you asked it. I think in my case something was not done right. I still strongly feel that way. But thanks God, it was not something too serious to the extent that I cannot do business under the non-financial institutions. Actually, I'm just about to apply to make an application for another entity under the same regulator. And I trust them. They are good people. I've worked with them, remember, for 19 years. When they were still called the Registrar of Insurance. So when Bifira started, when I was still already operating. So I trust them, and I really love them. I've got a good relationship with them, Bifira. And I'll be operating in the space with other entities sooner than later.
I want to go back to the roots, so to speak, the entrepreneurial bug. What was that thing that really told you that this is the route I'm taking, entrepreneurship, when your friends, your colleagues wanted to go to school, at university, and you said, no, I'm going the business route. Take us to that moment. The fact of the matter is, I was a very brilliant student at school. Very, very brilliant. Those were the days of pure sciences classes. So I was in the top class in Mount Secondary School. The cream, the school. But the fact of the matter is that my family we had a family friend. Remember, my dad was transferred to Maung. That's how I landed in Maung and schooled in Maung Secondary School. And he had a friend who then became family friends. And the old man had what do you call it? Driving school. And the niece was responsible for the driving school. Was running the driving school. Young guy who apparently didn't do well at standard 7 or form 3. So he was running the driving school. So what would happen is when my dad was on trips, now I'm not going to school, I'm going to the driving school to help this guy. And I learned how to drive in the process. And I was mesmerized by that. These guys have got a fleet of cars that they're giving to people to drive, and they pay them. And I actually was very mesmerized. And right away I decided this is what I want to do, business. Because it was fun. Unlike going into a classroom, sitting the whole day, we were out there in the spaces, talking to people, teaching them something, getting paid, buying maguinya, buying these drinks. We were never short of money. So it really intrigued me. And so you dropped out?
This is the thing to do. No, I never dropped out. I was just showing you where the
what I'm saying is that you stopped going to class and then focusing on the business?
No, I focused on assisting them. But immediately when my dad would come back from trip, I would then start going to school.
To avoid getting walloped.
Exactly. I understand. So that's how it started. And then immediately after that, after completing at tertiary, I then like I said in my introductions, did temporary teaching at Maikano, from which then I then started business.
Wow.
A small, a short stint at Minister of Agric, less than a year. And then I started business.
So what was your first business?
My first business was carpet cleaning. A cleaning company that I called Perfection Cleaners, and it was not registered. It was just a business they called Perfection Cleaners on paper, and I would print the A4 copies and then go to secondary schools because I knew teachers.
Yes.
And say I could clean your carpet for free. That's how it started. Got the carpet, and before I knew it, the rest of the teachers were bringing their carpets, and I was making good money. Then it was good money.
Yes.
That's how it started. From then I started micro-lending. From micro-lending, I got into legal expenses insurance, and then I got into other businesses, some of which many people are not aware of, because I believe that some of the businesses that I do, if I don't have a skill set for a particular type of business, I would rather have someone else, get a partner, run it, and let it be.
Yeah.
So that's what has happened.
That's good. Now let's talk about S-Mart Aviations.
Yeah.
Which one is that, and what does it do?
S-Mart Aviations is an aviation company. Sometimes, a couple of years back, I was interested, or I was invited to buy a stake in an aviation company in Botswana. But then after doing a due diligence, I realized that the commercials didn't make sense to me. You understand? But then unfortunately, because I spent so much time looking at their books and looking at their business concept and model, and I had already contemplated how I'm going to take it to make it more profitable. I then decided the numbers are not looking good, but again, at the same time, I doubt if I would be able to work with these partners, because it's also about relationships.
Yes.
I could pick, because one of the skills that I can proudly talk about that I have I've taken time to hone is the art of anticipation. Do you understand?
Wow.
I could pick before I even signed on the dotted line that as much as I can turn around this business, the people that I'm getting into with are not that we're not compatible in terms of our vision and such. So, but then my love for aviation started, and then I went out into other countries and looked for people to mentor me into the aviation space. As you would remember, in Botswana, it's still at its that space is not
stage.
yes.
Yeah.
So I bumped into a very big player in the aviation space, and we partnered, and eventually I started my own, but still doing business with them, and that is how S-Mart Aviation was done. I started doing, based in South Africa, I do aircraft maintenance, we do leasing, we do management of your high valued clients, the guys with private jets. I assisted them.
You're the one who makes sure that those jets are serviced.
Yeah,
in good condition.
Yes. Even governments, you understand. Governments, aircrafts, different governments. I go, I market myself there, show them how I can maintain their fleet, and if we so agree, then through my partners in South Africa, then we do it. Yeah.
So this one must be big. The S-Mart Aviations. Is it capital intensive or labor intensive? By that I mean, do you have a big workforce and so on?
No. I don't have a big workforce, because as I said to you, I'm leveraging on a giant that I've partnered with.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
I'm leveraging on a giant that I've partnered with.
So you're a
most
minority
of the job, yes. So most of the jobs are done that side.
Yeah.
Most of the jobs, the technical part of everything is done by my partner, because I'm not. I only got into aviation 4 or 5 years back, so I'm more responsible for the business development part of things, sourcing those customers and making people aware of this beautiful facility. and of course taking care of their fleet.
Are you doing anything here in Botswana?
Oh yes, definitely.
Tell us about the services offered.
I'm doing maintenance for one or two big
entities,
government entities in the country.
Okay. That's as far as you are willing to go.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. We must never forget where we are.
Yeah.
Still on this point, I'm getting a pattern here. You went into legal services. You're not a lawyer. You went into aviation services. You're not a pilot. Neither are you an aircraft engineer. Tell us the mindset that it takes to venture where others cannot venture. Which is really an important trait in entrepreneurship. Tell us how you cultivated that mindset and talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, difficult to say. I think some things come natural. But of course, yes, as a natural, you also have to make time to prepare yourself and acquire certain skills. And acquiring certain skills sometimes may not be necessarily going to school to get those skills, but to be sitting next to those who have been in the industry for the longest time and learning from them. Do you understand? And most importantly, something that I share with those that are close to me often, and those that I'm not close to, I put it on Facebook as and when I find time to write something there. Is the mind. First, once you have established what your people, this looks like ordinary and everyday type of thing.
Yeah.
Establish what your purpose is. Everyone talks about it. And we should never get tired of it because it is true and it is real. Right? First, you need to establish what your purpose is. If you're sure you have established your purpose and your purpose is to do business, then business is business, right? It's not a matter of did you go to school to become a lawyer, to be in the space. No. If you can't be a lawyer, then there must be many other things that are done that have got to do with lawyering that you can do. You understand that doesn't require you to be. If you are interested in aviation and you see it as a commercially appetizing space, then why not get into it? Really learn about it a bit and go into it. Because remember, the entrepreneurial set, the skill set is the same thing. A guy who is running F&B now, Steve, and a guy who is running Cresta Group, and a guy who is running Legal Aid Botswana there. The CEOs, they've got almost the same skill set. You understand? That's why the enterprises they are running are successful. You understand? But to cut the long story short, my character is simple. I never give up on anything. I believe in myself such that sometimes I get scared myself. I don't believe that there's anything that I can't do if I put my mind to it. You understand? And it's proven. And then the fortunate thing about it again is that half the time people don't do certain things because you get into a certain business space and then 2 years down the line you think it's not making money, and because it's not making money you think it is not worth it, you become impatient. I've got a character that really scares me. I chase to the end. You understand? I chase all the way to the end. And there are times when those who are closer to me, like my elder brother, will say, Base, please man, are you sure you chase what you are chasing is worth it? I'll tell you, wait and watch. And most of the time at the end of it, I am the winner. Okay. I am the winner.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
Yeah, tell us about your social media activities. You mentioned your Thursday in passing. How did that start, and what is the objective of that page or blog that you write?
Yeah, the objective was simply to, like I said, look, I've got God has blessed me with a good heart, right? I like seeing other people succeed. and it's a weakness
and a strength.
And a strength again. A weakness in that if you are in a community where people thrive on seeing other people not succeed, then you may try to help people and get banned in the process. But I never give up, because nothing should change my character of love and wanting to assist other people, making mistakes in the process, but the objective is always to assist others. I went into Facebook to share the little experiences that I thought, I think I know something about business. I mean, it's not by luck or coincidence that I've been in business for this long. You understand? That I'm able to provide for myself and my family, that I'm able to sleep at night, that I'm able to drive, that I'm able to clothe myself, that I'm able to travel through my business adventures. Then it's something that I know about business.
Yes,
then I may as well share it. If what I'm sharing is right, someone will pick it and use it. If it is wrong, they must be able to discern that. Or if they don't discern and they pick the wrong part and do it and they get bent, hard luck. That's part of learning also. So it was just
so it started when, and how has it been going? What sort of responses have you been receiving?
The response has been very good, but unfortunately, I've not been consistent. You see, I write as and when I find time. Initially, I had thought I would be able to put something every week, because I think about things as I walk about, and I do. Like now, I've got something to write. I'm going to write actually. Thanks God today on Thursday. Sometimes I skip the Thursday because I'm busy. Now I picked a subject now that I would be able to write about, and I'll do it. You can check it this evening. I would have put something.
Now look out to it.
Yeah.
I'm looking at your T-shirt and it has the words "Law on Call."
Yes.
What is that about?
Law on Call is a business that I'm currently doing in South Africa. Very innovative business. I don't know if so if you go, because I doubt if I'm yet comfortable
discussing it.
I don't know. Is your podcast? You've got viewers in South Africa,
yes,
as well, all over the place.
Yes,
beautiful.
Yes,
beautiful. You've done a beautiful job.
Yes,
you've done a beautiful job. Because I would not have wanted to see it exactly as it is now in Botswana, because I'm launching it. I think in the next 3 weeks.
Okay,
in the next
officially.
So, maybe I must just leave it alone. So but at the end of the day, if you go into South Africa, you would see it. When you get into the banks, you get into some of the what do you call it? Telecommunications companies. You would see this law on call embedded into a lot of their products. Okay. So but it will be launched here, so people would get to know what exactly it is.
I happen to know your other business called Home Assist. Is that one? Are you willing to share on that one?
Home Assist is an innovation that I started and have since given it, have since. I'm not involved in the day-to-day running of Home Assist Botswana. There's a young man, very, very intelligent, very, 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 very disciplined young man called Lerumo, who is the owner of Home Assist as it is now. He's running with it. It is his baby. I only help him because I conceptualized it. I came with the idea. So once in a while he comes to me, hey, bro, Base, no, how can you help me? I'm trying to do this. What were you thinking? You understand? And he has added a lot of color to it. It's now looking completely different, and that's the power of that's what I love about our young people. Wow, this country is blessed with very, very smart
young people.
Entrepreneurship. There's hope for this country, and I'm happy our government is also talking the same language, is trying to encourage these young people to get into business, could it be farming or any other thing. But the short of it is Home Assist is doing extremely well, and I must say congratulations to the young men and give him a pat on the back.
I'm going to find him and bring him to this studio.
Yeah, you must find him. You must. I'm thinking of calling him to my house actually, and asking him to buy a stake in the business as it were.
If he's a smart guy, then we should. But are you able to tell the viewer what it does and what the service is?
Yeah, with the hope that he will pay me for doing the work for him. Home Assist.
You mean you've disinvested completely from it?
Yeah, no, but because I know the concept, yes.
Okay.
Home Assist, what it does is it's medical aid for your house. So you pay X amount of plus per month, and then as and when your house needs any attention, i.e. your plumbing, your electrical, whatever it could be, technician, then they dispatch a technician to come and fix. Medical aid for your house. When your house is not feeling well, by virtue of your subscriptions, you've got yourself the house sorted. Because as you would imagine nowadays, honestly, you people are too busy. You are busy. Look at you now. If you are to be called now to say the flushing system is not working, or your tenant tells you the roof is leaking, you can't leave what you're doing now.
No.
But you can easily subscribe for your tenant and see as and when there is a fault, just call this number. Do you understand? So it improves the relationship between tenants and landlords. It makes it easy for those who own houses to afford maintenance, because it has been proven that maintenance constitutes plus minus 3% of the total value of the house per annum. That's quite substantial if you ask me. Do you understand?
It is.
Half the time we don't have that money in the pocket ready to call a technician. But what amazes me about the product, what really amazes me about the product, that's why I want to go back and say to you, may I buy something? Well. What amazes me about the product is that nowadays issues of security are serious. You don't want to be having this person, there's one coming, tomorrow is another person, the other day is another guy coming to fix this and that. You are having a whole traffic of people into your house, and before you know it, you will be crying because some have got other agendas. Some may want to come back to steal or send their peers to come and steal from your house. So when you know my house, the only company that comes for maintenance is Home Assist. Wow. Lifestyle.
It gives you peace of mind.
It gives you peace of mind. It gives you security.
And all you're required to do is to subscribe. Nominal amount about
nominal about when I last I think it's about 100 average of 100 rents. No, sorry, 100 pula. Yes. Sorry, nowadays I'm thinking I'm all over the place. Yes.
And then how do you make sure you get artisans or electricians, whatever experts who are under you? How do you vet them?
Yeah, for what I know, and I hope this is the last question you're asking on Home Assist. Like I said, I don't get paid for Home Assist. The concept was that I last saw their advert. They would advertise, people would apply, and then they vet them, they check their criminal records, and this is very key. Check their criminal records, check their skill set to ensure that these are guys who are going to be able to actually do the job. And recently I saw they put up an empowerment scheme where now they are saying, if you are a technician independent out there, you can come register with them. Then they would hone your skills if they think you are not up to standard, and then they would you become part of Home Assist, such that you continue to provide the service on I'm not sure. I think you must.
I've been ordered not to ask any more questions. I'll invite Lerumo. If you are watching Lerumo, your invitation is an open one.
Yes.
You like there's an expression which you've used in my presence more than once, which is a bulletproof mind. Break that expression down and explain what it means And since you have a bulletproof mind, tell us how you cultivate that mind.
Yeah. The quickest example would obviously be the case we talked about, or the issue or the matter we talked about, where I experienced the company being closed just like that. Today on Monday, the business is running, all is well. On Tuesday, it is not there. You understand? I sometimes sit and wonder what could have happened to the next person or another person. I know I'm not suggesting that I'm the only one with this type of resilience and bulletproof mind. But what I'm trying to say to you is, chances are next to 100 that some people would not have been able to recover from that or to cope. But with me, I painful as it was, I should not be in denial. Painful as it was, I just felt, I immediately shed my tear and immediately without wasting time then said, but this may be an opportunity. These people are unlocking so much of my time. This thing was taking so much of my time. Probably I was sitting in the office from 8 to 5 because I was so used to it. Maybe I should be looking on the flip side and thinking, what opportunity is this giving me? So that's what I talk about when I talk about a bulletproof mind. A mind that does not get swayed or influenced by what happens around you to the extent that you end up losing yourself in the midst of that. A mind that does not allow negativity to doubt yourself. A mind that does not allow challenges to doubt the viability or otherwise of a project that you are working on. A mind that does not conform to the normal everyday, God forbid, Jack and Jill on the street. You understand how people do it. You understand? A mind that is set, a mind that is steadfast, that says, I made a decision to pursue this route and come what may. The winds may blow, the rains may come, the hurricanes and everything and volcanoes may come. Naysayers may say whatever they want to say. Even those who are congratulating and wishing you best, you can hype you with all sorts of praise and what, but I'm not going to be derailed. This is my focus. I'm not going to be derailed by either positivity or negativity. I'm focused because on my eyes are on the end. That is the type of mind that I talk about when I say bulletproof. I as much as I'm living in this beautiful world and this beautiful country and other countries where I've started doing business, the fact of the matter is that I think I've established what I want, what my purpose is, and nothing is going to change that. No, nothing is going to change.
Which means that now you have to answer the second part of the question: is how do you cultivate and develop that mindset, and what does a listener have to do to get to where you are?
It's basic, though difficult sometimes to implement. I think it's if I get your question right, it's just an issue of, we never give ourselves to retreat to our own corners and say, let me look first at myself. Who am I? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? And what do I need to work on? And what should I never allow anyone to tamper with? Do you understand? Whether I think it is, whether it may be right or wrong. But now I've made a decision. This is me, and no one is going to tamper with this me, because it is just you and now Olenosi.
Yes.
Now you are interrogating yourself, and then and then God, obviously you invite God into this interrogation, and then He guides you as He always does. Then once you have done that, now you leave yourself and now zoom into the world and say to yourself, now let me assess the world now, the community I'm living in, and the people. Well, what do I think is their way of doing things? You might be wrong, but you must come with answers. You understand? I think, for argument's sake, I'm not saying this is the case. There's are negative people. These are people who don't like to see others progressing. These are people who probably like gossip and pulling others down. Now, if you assess and that is what you are seeing, right? Then you say, fine. Now, this is how you develop your mind. Fine. Now, I'm not going to be this.
I'm not going to be part of that.
This is my definition of this community and how they look at things in general terms. This is not going to be me, and this is not going to derail me. So I'm marching on. In the midst of all these naysayers and all that, I'm going all the way to what I'm seeing at the end.
I love that.
That's how I live my life by the day.
Now you have already hinted at the fact that you've not relocated, but you've diversified to South Africa.
Yes.
How is the business environment, and how do the two ecosystems compare, Botswana versus South Africa?
I spend most of my time in South Africa now. So I do business here in Botswana. Home will always be home. Sit home. Right? The other day I was talking to someone. I think we had a conversation like this ourselves. Between you and I, that if you start business in Botswana, hone your skills here, entrepreneurial skills, you can do business anywhere in the world. And I hope Botswana are aware of that. You know,
because of how tough it is.
Yeah, it is tough here. We must be honest. It's not easy here. Why? I don't want to talk about it. It's a topic for another day.
Issue. But that's why the government is talking about reset.
Exactly, and that is why the president is talking about, His Excellency is talking about reset, the mind. I loved it, yes, and I hope that the president even talked about the mindset, reset, and the issue of the mind. I'm very, very
strong on that.
Yeah, strong on that. I hope people will take heed and start focusing on just interrogating who are we and how can we really do. Because there's a lot that needs to be done here.
We need to unlearn a lot of things.
There's a lot that we need to unlearn. But listen, in South Africa, it's not exactly too different from here. We should not be lied to. I love South Africa. It's now my second home, right? Because this will always be my home. It's not completely different. The only probably difference is that South Africa is big. And then there is power in being a foreigner. You understand? There is power. People from outside are taking opportunities. What? This is a cry all over the place. All over. You go to Ghana, you would hear that. You go to Nigeria, you hear that. I spend most of my time in SA. I hear a lot of South Africans saying that. But fortunately, there's something special about us, Botswana, and I hope we are aware of it. People out there just love us. They love us. They think we are this, and we are this good people. And they are correct. We are generally good people. We've got our weaknesses that I'm not going to talk about. But we are generally good people. And my business life in South Africa has been very good. The market is bigger. People do things a little bit different in terms of that they have, for lack of a better word, is it endorsed? No, adapted technology quicker, I want to believe, than here. Don't
they also have a sense of urgency?
They've got a sense of urgency compared to here. The opportunities are many, just as much as there are opportunities here.
This is why I'm joining you that side, at least partly.
I'm happy you are coming.
I'll be both sides. I'm
happy you're coming.
Of the border. I'll be here principally, but I'll also be crossing a bit more often.
That's beautiful.
Now, is the population a big differentiator in terms of having a bigger market?
Yeah, it is. It is. But remember, it also takes the nature of business that you're doing. because there can be an argument. Buying power. There are issues of buying power. There are many issues. You may have a bigger population, have a smaller population, but have a better buying power. The community is liquid, and when you put together a product, even if you've got 1,000 members, it's better than the 100,000 members that the other person in another country have got, because probably they can only subscribe 1 cent. They can subscribe 200 pula with ease.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that is the case. I'm only saying, yes, indeed, the population in South Africa works for my type of products.
Yes.
I ran Musele Legal Services, an operation here for almost 20 years. But the progress that I'm already making in South Africa in the past 3 years that I've been doing, it's almost like I've been. If I was here, it would have taken me a good 11 years. The progress that I'm making there is amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. The numbers are. The numbers, population does matter.
Yeah, it does. It does benefit.
Size does matter.
Yeah. Now, we are the kind of person who sets audacious goals. By that I mean big, hairy, scary goals. That's the impression that I have. So I wonder what the future shows if we're to take you 10, 20, 30 years. What sort of goals do you have, and what sort of brand Sebonego, Base Sebonego are we going to have? Or if you like, even your companies, Smart Aviations, Mosele, or even Law and Call. What picture can we paint the next 2-3 decades?
Look, firstly, the Base Sebonego, the brand, is not. It's a concern only to the extent that I don't just go about ravishing it. Do you understand? But I'm not particularly concerned about being known out there and all that. I'm more concerned about the purpose. Remember where I started?
Yes.
And that's where we are going to end. The purpose. Do you understand? I am very happy thus far that I'm definitely on track. Do you understand? And I the other day someone asked me, when Forbes was interviewing me in 2011, they asked me then, okay, let's a follow-up interview. They said, we interviewed in 2011. Now it's 2013. Was it 2013? My next appearance.
You were on the Forbes cover for Entrepreneur of the Year.
I was on, no, not of the year. I was on Forbes. They just captured my story in the first issue of Forbes in 2011. Was my story and others. The first issue, a good 3-4 pages dedicated to my story. But this neither here nor there. They then asked as a follow-up a couple of years later, how much are you now worth? And I remember I told them, I'm not a public company, so I don't disclose my worth. The truth of the matter is that is not what bothers me. What bothers me is, am I on track with what I sincerely believe is my purpose, which is doing trade, right? Come to the business, I'm still standing. I'm the happiest man ever because I'm living my purpose.
Yes. So
in the next 20, 30, 40 years, what am I seeing? I'm seeing a man who would still be in business, proudly so, happy, successfully doing business, like I'm successfully doing business now. You understand? And should it be in terms of measure, in terms of how big and how, in terms of money, I would be happy if it's a lot of money.
Probably 20 times, 100 times what you are now.
If it can be 30, 40, 50 folds or even more, I'll be the happiest man. But if it doesn't, it won't take my happiness and my peace away, because I am in a very good space now.
Yes.
And forever.
Yeah, it almost seems as if you read the book by Eckhart Tolle called The Power of Now, which in which he makes the point that we tend to focus on yesterday or on tomorrow. If we can learn to just hone in on now, then we cannot fail.
Very inspiring. Indeed.
Yes, it's a very powerful book.
I will have to read that book.
Yes. So, in terms of the most important trait, I've believed that the most important trait for successful business is grit, which is perseverance and persistence. You seem to be confirming that. Am I right?
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, you're one of those people who inspire me, just in case you didn't know.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
I love people who keep on doing what they like doing. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And not get derailed.
Yeah.
So that defines, to me, that's what defines a business person.
Yeah.
And another thing that I like, just if I were to turn things around, and I mean it I mean it. I never just say things for enjoy. About you is you unlike me, you read a lot. You know, I like you always are ready to quote this book and that book, which immediately tells me that you read, and you're reading because you always yearning to learn and learn and learn. You've never gotten to a space where you thought you knew everything. I would want you to assist me to be able to do that. One of the things in that area, lacking as I am lacking in that area, is my weakness has been that I believe in that, because you never asked me about my weaknesses. I believe in that. I've always believed that when you want to do something, just learn that beat. For example, if you want to, let me give you, because I always give life stories.
Yes.
When I was still young, I loved football, and I even
played football. Yeah.
And I said to myself, one day I must own a football team. And usually when I want to do something, I go out and get a basic certificate or something about it, or learn a bit about it. So I went to Botswana Football Association and I got a coaching certificate. I thought, I'm a football coach, qualified.
Oh.
Yes. From Botswana, by Ben Kofi. By then the instructor was a gentleman from Zambia
Ghana.
or Ghana called Ben Kofi.
Yeah.
The current CEO of Botswana Football Association. We did the course at the same time. You understand? When I wanted to get into real estate, I enrolled for a certificate in real estate. When I wanted to buy myself a property in some nice suburb in South Africa where there are oceans, I was intrigued by the boats and what. I got a skipper license.
Oh,
so I also operate.
It's one way of learning.
I operate vessels. You understand that? I can go on and on and on and on.
So in other words, you identify something you're interested in, then you want to acquire the skills, and then that's when you learn on that area.
Then go for it.
No, that works. That works.
For it. Yeah.
I'm somewhat similar to that, but I also do a lot of general learning.
Yeah.
All right, now this is the time of the show where you get to ask me a question if you have one.
Who asks Mr. Mogobe a question?
If you have one. If you don't have one, we can skip.
No, let me let's do it. 2 questions. Am I allowed?
Yes. For you, we'll make an exception.
Okay. First question. What else do you do other than what you're known for? Business, outside business. You understand? Your passion. What do you do when you're not doing business? Because you see, we business people see you, and before young people coming up, they think it's just Mr. Mogobe, business. You are human. What else do you do? 2, what do you think are my weaknesses?
Oh, okay. I'll answer both. But let me start with the first one.
Yes.
I think I like the idea of philanthropy. Taking some of the skills you have, even from business, and applying them to help others. Wow. So one of my my ministries, I call it my ministries, is church building. So what I do is put aside some money for church building efforts in the context of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. So this entails meeting with other worshippers of parishioners or congregations, motivating them, and sharing my skills as a speaker or as an advocate, because as a lawyer you have to be an advocate, and then inspiring them to dig into their pockets. And as they dig into their pockets, I also dig into mine, and we end up building churches. I think we built about 7 churches so far. So it's something that I do outside, and it gives me so much satisfaction because it blends in with my faith, and it also uses some of my skills, and I'm also imparting knowledge all at the same time. So that's one thing. I've answered that question. The second part of what you asked is, what are your weaknesses? The ones that I can discuss publicly in terms of a specific weakness that I see is that you don't have a weakness. Your weakness is that you don't have a weakness.
No.
In other words, I don't see a particular Achilles heel. Everybody has an Achilles heel.
Yeah.
Where if you aim at that Achilles heel, you destroy that person. So I don't have any that I can discuss with you publicly. Yeah. But there may be one that I'm willing to discuss with you privately. That's as far as I can go.
Please, after this interview, I would make a bit of time for you to. I would love to hear that.
Yes.
That's how we grow.
Yes.
That's how we grow.
Yes.
That's how we grow. It should not always be about money.
Yeah.
Money has never built anyone.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Before I ask you to give one last motivational speech, what do you think young entrepreneurs need to do in Botswana to improve their chances of succeeding? What if there's one or two things that they need to focus on to improve their chances of success? What would they be?
The first one would be obviously to unlearn the perception that this life is about money. If they can just unlearn that, because then they would get into business for wrong reasons.
Yeah.
And when they are in business, they would do wrong things because they think it's all about money. Business is not about llama and glaze. Business is about purpose. I'm going back to that. You understand?
Yeah.
And then once you have learned that and appreciated that money would never define you and will never make you happy and peaceful.
Yeah.
Right? I don't care who thinks, oh, sorry, that's me.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
You then start appreciating yourselves and your efforts better because you're not measuring them kamad. 2, you would have peace because you're not chasing money. People who chase money never have peace because money would always elude you. Do you understand? Because when you make $1 million, you want 2 million. When your lifestyle is at 2 million, you want 5 million. When it is at 10 million, you want 20 million.
Yeah.
So even if you had to go to the nearest CEO in the country who is probably the highest paid, he would tell you, if only I could get that other job.
Yeah.
And sometimes, don't get me wrong, sometimes it would be because he would feel more fulfilled there. But I'm saying, should it be because he's chasing money? He would always be looking for a job because money would never be enough. That's what I would advise them. And then of course just bulletproof your mind. I think we have talked about it. Meet Mogobe, learn how they have done it. And when you're learning from them, don't don't become big-headed. You know, there's this thing nowadays of young people wanting to be mentored by the Mogobe mentor me, and then because you're spending 2-3 days with him or more time with him, suddenly they think, no, now we are equals.
Yeah.
You understand? No. You'd never have the same experience as a man who has been there for 30 years. That man can only learn from you. You can learn from him. You'll never be equals. You understand?
Yeah.
So that's what I would implore people to focus and leave this other little things that don't add any value to their lives, because all these things are superficial.
I'm going to ask you to leave them with one final message, but I think you have.
I've done it.
You've done it already.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you need to do is just share all your contact details on social media and even physical addresses where they can find you or find your services. Feel free.
Yeah. I'm not too sure if I'll give my contact details, but for now, I think what matters is that they go and support, not support, because I think I've said it completely. Something that we'll talk about one day. We've got Smart Aviations. We do aircraft maintenance. If you want to hire a private jet, if you want to maintain the jet that you already own, if you want to spare, if you want parts for your aircraft, Smart Aviations is your place to go, as it were now. Once again, Law on Call is coming to Botswana. I think in the next 2-3 weeks we would launch. And when I say launch, I don't mean boom. We mean it will be up and running. And then, of course, if you are in South Africa, Musele Legal Services is there. We're providing legal expenses, insurance, different packages. We have partnered with your auto and generals. We have partnered with your generics. We have partnered with your new nationals. We have partnered with your First for Women and many other insurers in the country. So use those services. Law on Call is there as well. Use Law on Call.
All these are accessible on what?
Yeah,
Facebook?
all this. You can go into Facebook. You can go into the websites, and you'll find them. And I'm raising up my hand to say, if there's a farmer out there who is willing to take me under his mentorship, I want to learn more about farming. Please assist me, because I'm very passionate about it.
Is it cattle farming?
Cattle, small stock and horticulture.
Okay.
That's where my interest is for now.
Okay.
That's what I've started at a small scale, though. So I know there are big guys out there and ladies who are doing it.
Are there any numbers
I would love
or
to learn from them.
phone numbers or
if you want to call
numbers
me
to share
for that mentorship, to mentor me on that part, 7768 2050. 2050. I would visit your farm and learn, yes, and when I find time and you've got time.
Okay. You didn't give us Marumo's number.
Remarumo. Call Remarumo on Remarumo Home Assist. Yeah, what a product, and what an interesting young man. I'm going to get into this challenging technology. How can I even tell you? Marumo. Marumo's number is 76777 649. Home Assist. 76777 649.
Okay.
And like I said, I'm going to raise a bill.
Yeah.
Yes.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you. You've
much.
been a wonderful.
Thank you for your
much.
time.
You've done a good job.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
We keep on learning from you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And your team and other Botswana who are doing good things.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cheers.